Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabi. I welcome you to Biology Boss MCQ, Part 21. I like to encourage you to learn, to like, to share, and to subscribe. Bats and birds are both flying, warm-blooded animals. However, they are considered not to be closely related. This is because of the difference in their A. Method of resting on a tree. B. Blood circulation. C. Brain structure. D. Manner of feeding their young. And the answer is D. Manner of feeding their young. Which of the following characteristics does the mosquito not have? A. Piercing and sucking proboscis. B. Two pairs of wings. C. Jointed limbs. D. Two compound eyes. And the answer is B. Two pairs of wings. Which of the following structures is not possessed by a caterpillar? A. Prolegs. B. Antennae. C. Spiracles. D. True legs. And the answer is B. Antennae. The rotation of crops improves the fertility of a soil by A. Preventing rainwater from running over the soil and carrying away topsoil. B. Slowing down the wind so that it does not blow away the topsoil. C. Preventing a particular mineral from being exhausted from the soil. D. Preventing the mineral salts in solution from being drained out of the topsoil. And the answer is C. Preventing a particular mineral from being exhausted from the soil. What is meant by nitrogen fixation? A. The use of salts containing nitrogen by plants. B. The change of nitrate to nitrogen. C. The conversion of nitrites to nitrates. D. The conversion of nitrogen to nitrates. And the answer is D. The conversion of nitrogen to nitrates. Ecological niche means the A. Influence of the community on the environment. B. Role of an organism in a community. C. Role of abiotic factors. D. Influence of edaphic factors on an organism. And the answer is B. Role of an organism in a community. In a food chain, the initial organism is usually A. Photosynthetic. B. Saprophytic. C. Herbivorous. D. Parasitic. And the answer is A. Photosynthetic. It is not possible to have long chains of more than 6 living organisms because A. There are great loss of energy in form of heat from plants and animals at each trophic level. B. There would be a lot of competition between the organisms. C. All plants would be eaten by animals, leading to soil erosion. D. This would lead to fewer food chains and therefore an imbalance in the ecosystem. And the answer is A. There are great losses of energy in form of heat from plants and animals at each trophic level. If you were asked to find out the most common plant species in a large habitat, the most practical method to use would be A. Use a map to show distribution of plants. B. Use a quadrant. C. Use a line transect. D. Count every individual of each species. And the answer is C. Use a line transect. Which of the following conditions is known to one that would cause stomata to open or close? A. Amount of oxygen around the plant. B. Temperature. C. Humidity. D. Time of day or night. And the answer is A. Amount of oxygen around the plant. A small hibiscus plant was placed in darkness for 4 days. It was removed, placed in a large airtight bell jar containing potassium hydroxide, and then exposed to sunlight. After 3 hours, the plant would have A. Not formed starch because carbon dioxide in the bell jar was absorbed by potassium hydroxide. B. Formed starch because the strong sunlight provided the energy for photosynthesis. C. Not formed any starch because 3 hours were too short for photosynthesis. D. Formed starch because chlorophyll, light, and other conditions for photosynthesis were present. And the answer is A. Not formed starch because carbon dioxide in the bellow jar was absorbed by potassium hydroxide. Intestinal juice contains A. Enzymes affecting carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. B. No enzymes. C. Enzymes affecting reducing sugars only. D. Enzymes have no effect on reducing sugars. And the answer is A. Enzymes affecting carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The series of contraction and dilation of the smooth muscles of the alimentary canal is called A. Assimilation. B. Digestion. C. Peristalsis. D. Absorption. And the answer is C. Peristalsis. Diffusion of gases takes place between alveoli and blood capillaries. Which one of the following is the least important for this process? A. There is a film of moisture on the walls of alveoli and capillaries. B. Alveoli present large respiratory surface. C. Carbon dioxide, oxygen, and nutrients are found in blood. D. Walls of the alveoli and the blood capillaries are permeable. And the answer is C. Carbon dioxide, oxygen, and nutrients are found in blood. The organism that does not carry oxygen using blood in its body is A. Fish. B. Cockroach. C. Parrot. D. Snake. And the answer is B. Cockroach. The fermentation of sugar to alcohol by yeast differ from most cellular oxidative process in that It does not A. Require enzymes. B. Release energy. C. Require oxygen. D. Form carbon dioxide. And the answer is C. Require oxygen. Which of the following is the most correct when carrying out an experiment on respiration in plants? The plants have to be kept in dark because A. In light, when both photosynthesis and respiration are going on at the same time, carbon dioxide produced in respiration is used in photosynthesis. B. Plants respire only when they are in darkness. C. Respiratory enzymes are activated by darkness. D. In light, respiration takes place at a slower rate, and thus little carbon dioxide is given out. And the answer is A. In light, when both photosynthesis and respiration are going on at the same time, carbon dioxide produced in respiration is used in photosynthesis. Which one of the following is not very important in the uptake and transport of water by a flowering plant? A. Phloem. B. Osmosis. C. Transpiration pool. D. Xylem. And the answer is A. Phloem. Which of the following is not an adaptation of plants to live in water? A. Small air spaces in stem and leaf. B. Poorly developed xylem. C. Thin layer of cuticle. D. Poor root system. And the answer is A. Small air spaces in stem and leaf. The blood constituents involved in preventing loss of blood when the skin is injured are A. Fibrinogen, haemoglobin, and calcium. B. Fibrin, glycogen, and prothrombin. C. Prothrombin, fibrin, and platelets. D. Fibrin, glycogen, and prothrombin. And the answer is prothrombin, fibrin, and platelets. Hello, friends. Thank you very much for participating in Biology Boss MCQ Part 21. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.